James Ellis here, Whipping Tudor. I'm coming to the end of these podcasts for highlights of 2014. This one is entirely involving the cinema. 2014, the highs, the lows and such. I'd like to thank Chapter Arts Centre and particularly Megan Price for giving me a lot of tickets to see films at their establishment. So, Megan, thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Just looking back, I'm just having a sip of cold peppermint tea, lovely. Well, let's cut to the chase, whip things into shape. I'm not going to say one film was my best of the year. I think there was a fantastic array of films this year. I'm going to go for three, actually. I think Lars von Trier, Nymphomaniac, Under the Skin, and Gone Girl. I think those are my three favourite films of last year, new releases. Nymphomaniac, I mean, what can we say about Nymphomaniac? You don't really care for Charlotte Gainsbourg's character, but for 4 hours, you follow this character, you see her on her escapades, her sexual endeavours. The film left me numb. I walked home that night, good 2 hours, my head was numb. And artistically, it's beautifully executed by von Trier, who is now sadly banned from the Cannes Film Festival and isn't able to show it there. But his previous work has proven very popular there. Before remarks about Nazis and Hitler, he let himself down, basically. A great film. Watch it, but you have to be in the right mood. Under the Skin, Scarlett Johansson as an alien driving a van around Glasgow. Absolutely brilliant. Half the people she encounters were actors, half the people were real Glaswegian men as she lures them to her flat and they succumb to the primordial ooze. Another great film. Gone Girl, I think this is probably the least obscure of the three films of my favourites this year. Gone Girl, Ben Affleck, particularly impressive performance. David Fincher, actually a very gripping thriller. It's slightly too long, particularly a bedroom scene had the audience wriggling in agony, very explicit, very violent as well, very bloody, good grief. I heard the book is better, but actually a particularly good film, one of my personal favourites of the year. In front of me, as usual, is a mass of tickets, and there's a lot of Black. There's a lot of films I saw. Chapters showed a John Waters season where they screened Pink Flamingos, Hairspray, Polyester, and Female Trouble. What can I say about these films? Well, Pink Flamingos is particularly disgusting, probably one of the most hilarious films I've ever seen. The famous poo-eating scene at the end, if you will, can't be shown in British cinemas. I was disappointed. If I had paid for a ticket, I would have wanted my money back. I think Divine. I think the emphasis on these John Waters films is Divine, the character, the drag act. Polyester is. I've got the card here. Polyester was a scratch and sniff evening, or as Waters preferred to call it, odorama, where you smell the number on your card when indicated on the screen. So it was a smell of farts, old sneakers, like Febreze spray, if you will. Another hilarious film. Hairspray. I think I prefer the musical version more, but the film version is still fantastic. Female Trouble, probably one of my least favourite films of the year. The usher walked out in this film when I saw it. Particularly awful, not as funny as Pink Flamingos, but a lot more lewd and exceptionally vulgar. So, thank you, Chapter, for showing us these remarkable films. Unforgettable, embedded in my brain, these films be. Oh, actually, I beg your pardon, there may be a fourth contender for Best Film. I think The Congress by Ari Filman, half animation, half real footage, a violently hallucinogenic film. The animation, like with his Walter Bashir, is exquisite, beautifully drawn. Robin Wright practically plays herself, an aging actress. she sort of goes into this odd, trippy, animated world, and it's a must-watch. Not a perfect film, but it's an absolute much-watch. Come on, James, sober up. Must-watch. Magic in the Moonlight, Woody Allen's latest film. Bit of a letdown. I feel it was just like watching Woody Allen and Mia Farrow, even though it wasn't Mia. It wasn't Mia Farrow and Colin Farrell and such. The Missing Picture, fantastic French-Cambodian documentary about the atrocities committed in Cambodia with the use of little clay figures. A very still, beautiful film. Leviathan was a very sort of an art film type of film you've seen in an art gallery. Basically, an artist went on a fishing trawler and captured moments of it. Very, very odd, but very beautiful. Only Lovers Left Alive, the sort of the hipster vampire film. An odd film, austere, pretty austere. Acceptable. Finding Vivian Maier, my favourite documentary of the year. This young art student bought a box from an auction in New York, and they contained all these photographs of Vivian Maier, an unknown photographer. These photographs weren't just good, very good photographs. The composition was fantastic in them. By far my favourite documentary. Mr. Turner, Timothy Spall grunts a lot. The music was particularly beautiful. Another austere film, not a lot of talking at times. I wouldn't say it's for everyone. August Osage County, based on the play. The play is better. I love Meryl Streep, and it's a fantastic ensemble of actors, but the play is better. I saw the play in the National Theatre in London. The play is outrageous. The American Family gone wrong. Brilliant. Kill Your Darlings with Daniel Radcliffe. Yes, everyone went on about, the gay kiss, the gay sex in this, but it actually portrayed Allen Ginsberg in a very interesting light, a very innocent perspective of him as a young man, and another one to watch. Her is based basically on an episode of Black Mirror, which, those of you know me, I love Black Mirror. Sort of a man basically falls in love with his computer system. There's not much more you can say. Film left you very cold. That's the point of the film. Serena, Bradley Cooper. This film hasn't technically had an American release yet, and I don't know if it ever will. A sort of a Western set in the 20s. It was not so bad. Oh, Stranger by the Lake, a very sort of French gay thriller, if you will. Very odd, Hitchcockian. I'd watch it again. Very dark. Sort of the gay cruising spots in the south of France. Interesting. The Way He Looks, based on a shorter film, which I'll come to the Irish Prize shortly. The Way He Looks is about a little Brazilian blind boy who falls in love with another student. Very touching. I feel it didn't need to be a feature film, but it's touching all the same. Inside Llewyn Davies, hilarious take, Justin Timberlake, and another great set of actors. Sort of a failing singer going around trying to find a cat and things. Fantastic. Nebraska was from 2013, but still, watch Nebraska. Black and white film, brilliantly done. Go and see Nebraska. What else? This is most of the tickets. Life After Beth. I don't want to say hipster too much. People think I am one. Takes one to know one. Life After Beth was a curious... You could define Life After Beth as the second rom-com, where Audrey Plaza plays basically a girl raising from the dead, comes back practically as a zombie. These are zombies in the film which sort of... they basically have a taste for long walks and other odd curiosities that wouldn't be seen in other zombie films. The chapter also showed a lot of classic films. My favourite classic film this year, of a screening of a classic film, go to Videodrome. Chapter showed with the BFI, the science fiction season, and they also showed The Man Who Fell from Earth. Not the biggest fan of David Bowie, sorry, didn't particularly enjoy the film. Close Encounters of the Third Time, great Spielberg Gold, Gaslight, to do with the horror season previously before, so-so. La Belle et la Bête, Beauty and the Beast, wonderful black and white take on Beauty and the Beast, beautiful, another great watch. The General, another hilarious slapstick comedy from, what's his name? Oh, come on. Buster Keaton, people, Buster Keaton, of course. Night of the Hunter, Robert Mitchum is a very dark character trying to kill two children. For the 1950s, that's quite a shocker. Right, leading on to Iris. My favourite feature, Iris, had to go to the Samurai. Dear Samurai, a very dark take of a policeman trying to find this samurai killer. It borders on the very homoerotic, and it lingered in the brain. Curious, very curious. Favourite short film from Iris, I won't just pick one. I think Vis-a-Vis was fantastic. The chapter in Cineworld showed so much of Iris, and there was so much on last year, you couldn't see everything that was on at Iris. So I had to miss a lot. The Third was a fantastic Argentinian film about a hookup between a gay couple and a younger man. That was fantastic. And very, very saucy. The Holy Thursday, perhaps my favourite. Shorter chapter, Anthony Hicklin. Holy Thursday, The Last Supper, a very experimental, dreamlike take of father figures and relationships and what it is to be gay. That was particularly very good. Middleman, got to meet Charlie Francis, Scottish filmmaker. Middleman deals with a call centre involving a deaf teenager who uses the medium of a call centre to speak to his boyfriend. That won Best British Film, Best British Short. All God's Creatures, Australian, surprise, surprise, the Australians win again. All God's Creatures won the Iris Prize this year. I know Brendan MacDonald will certainly be coming to Cardiff and making a film here. I'd love to be an extra in that. Phone. Plug. There's a shameful plug there, people, as usual. I think that's pretty much it. The next podcast will involve the things I took part in last year. Bye!